Okay.
But again, you have opened up Pandora's box, and this is just like.
Why are you going to say I did?
Because you did it. Because you're the one that brought it up in the discussion. Obviously, the National Relations Board and the quarterback, I can't think of his name, from Northwestern, that had that filed suit or what have you. They wanted to make that. They wanted to make that happen. I get that, but the point is
I
that
think the quarterback kid is from here also.
Corey,
or was he an alumni?
I can't remember.
We'll pull it up. We'll have Jeff pull that up. Let's get ready to move forward here. We're going to still talk about this subject, but we have a gentleman in the studio today that I'm going to allow him to introduce himself to you guys. He's actually going to be able to give us a little insight on what we're talking about too, but he's actually here in representing of Fill the Stands, and I'll let him get ready to introduce himself. I don't want to steal that thunder. I kind of, I listen to myself, Jeff, from the old shows, and you want people to introduce themselves and who they are. I don't introduce you.
Thank God.
You don't introduce me.
Thank God.
We don't really like each other. It's kind of like a team sport. We just play well together.
Because we have to.
Now, we have one of the lead representatives here from Fill the Stands, and your name is?
Bill Wasilius.
Bill Wasilius. Let me see, make sure I can hear Bill on there.
Him hooked up? Okay.
Bill Wasilius. Bill.
Is it on? There he is.
And we have.
There we go.
And say your name again, please.
I'm Bill Wasilius.
Bill Wasilius from Fill the Stands is here. Bill, one thing I want to do is first is thank you for coming in and, partnering with us. I met up with Bill through one of our photographers, Marvin Kelly. He was out at the West George baseball game. So Bill has an interesting story, though, behind him, who he is, what he's done, athlete, all of that. He'll be able to chime in on everything.
Sure.
He'll probably actually tell you a little thing, Jeff.
Well, I'm sure.
He'll
probably know more about everything.
No, and he's also, you were in the Air Force.
Yes,
and played there.
I
So
was.
tell us a little about who you are,
I like
your
his
history and all
haircut,
that.
first of all.
Yeah,
He's
you guys,
got my
you guys
haircut.
look like
We
brothers.
go to the same hairstyle.
That's
barber,
it.
yeah.
Hey, I got a barbershop like that too. I
you
just
do.
don't. The bald shop. I just growing it out. Last hurrah.
The comb over.
So, Bill, tell us about yourself. Give everybody a background on who you are and your, just your resume.
Sure. Yeah, as Dakari mentioned, I met Marvin at a baseball game the other day at All City Field, and we started chatting about what we were doing, and I've started an organization, a community organization called Fill the Stands. Our mission is to give high school student athletes, not necessarily inner city, but the problem seems to be pretty prevalent in the DPS and in inner city schools. Give them a crowd to play in front of, and it doesn't mean we're not particular to any sport or any school.
Right.
The story, the idea for this organization and the initiative that we're doing came about. A mother of one of our inner city school teams came to watch her son play a baseball game at Denver West about a month ago, and she got there and had left her wallet at home and didn't have the $5 to get in. She went to the ATM, came back. By the time she got into the stadium, she looked around and there were 4 people. There's four people. There were more kids.
Playing.
More kids out on the field than there were people in the stands. And so the idea for Fill the Stands was hatched right there. I got to give a shout out to her, Lisa Eberlein. She was the idea behind all this, and I'm just fortunate enough to get to
Facilitate
bring
it or whatever,
to fruition. Yeah. And
absolutely.
As Dakari said, and this is, I don't want this to be about me at all, but it really resonated. The idea resonated with me because where I grew up in high school and
Now, where did you grow up?
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up outside of Chicago, east part of
That's
Gary,
where my
Indiana.
family-
state. Gary, Indiana.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we played there.
Yeah, a
and-
lot of people from Chicago and Colorado. That's where all
Shut
my
up,
family's
Dakari.
from. See, that's why. That's why I like this guy
Yeah,
even more
yeah.
and more. He's from Chicago.
Right.
He was from Illinois, and that's a great
You know where
thing. see?
Hobart is?
I do.
One of my good buddies is
They were a
from
big,
Hobart.
big rival, and you
Is
know,
that right?
Wow.
yeah. So
I'll be darned.
those games, man, the town shut down on
Yeah,
Friday
right.
nights for
That was a
football
big deal,
games,
yeah.
and the community really rallied around the players, and it didn't matter whether you had a kid on the team or not.
Right.
That was what
just
you
what
went
you
and
did. Yeah, that's where I'm living in Fort Morgan. That's
Yeah.
exactly the way it is. It's cool.
It's part of the
it's cool.
life, and so anyway, I was fortunate enough to go on and play college football at the Air Force Academy
Nice.
and had the opportunity to play in front of 70,000 people in Notre
what
Dame
a great-
Stadium.
They
What
have
a
a
great
pretty stadium.
atmosphere.
up
Yeah,
there.
man.
Still,
Just,
when you're driving, you just see that
yeah.
stand.
I mean, I get chills just thinking about it, right? And
You have to.
You know,
You got your ankles taped, your eyes blacked on right now, and you're ready
Yeah.
to go run down there on a kickoff and kick somebody.
That was a long time ago. I'm not sure
Never
I
mind
can still
that.
do
We
that.
say it just gives you that feeling. That's
Yeah,
all.
it
Say,
does.
I don't want to play. I just like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
juice that it sends through the veins.
That's the
But these,
truth.
anyway, so these kids deserve to experience that,
Sure,
at least on a
absolutely.
smaller level.
Absolutely.
So we created Fill the Stands. It's a community organization, and we're doing it grassroots, trying to pick a school and a sport and an event.
Cool.
And so our opener, our grand event is going to be May 6th at All City Field down by DU.
Yeah. Baseball game?
Baseball game. Denver West is playing Weld Central, and
Oh, wow. They're in our conference.
we
Yeah, Weld Central.
we hope that this will grow, but this first
It
event
will grow, too.
We've got some real low goals, but man, if we can beat these, it would be fantastic for these kids. We want to put 100 people in the stands.
Yeah.
We want to collect at least $500 in donations that we will in turn give back to the team.
DPS or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, to that school. So
Oh,
we're going
cool.
to pick a school, and our hope is that this event in May will bring on additional events later this fall. But
Fantastic.
Well,
And
we're
then the-
definitely going to help you bring on more because
And I
think
really appreciate it.
I think you're doing a one just in general. That's one of the things we want to do is tie
Yeah.
back to alumni, but to have a group like yourself that's focusing on saying, look, I've been in an atmosphere where I played with these kids, where I was an athlete, and that energy is
Yeah.
a whole nother thing. And even if you can add 50 to 100 more kids out there,
Yeah.
those kids just they want that
Perform.
opportunity to perform in front. Come see us. See
Yeah.
what
they
I've
just
been
want
doing.
somebody to care. They
Yeah,
want
that's
somebody
exactly
to show
right.
up and care about them.
Yep.
We want to have the crowd. We want to have them at least every player has at least one family member in the
Absolutely.
stands.
That's
and then
cool.
the fourth goal for the organization is to have 200 likes on our Facebook page.
Right.
So,
Nice.
we're
you'll
we're
get
already.
goal setting going
You'll get
over
two.
there.
You'll
That's
get
good.
2 goals or 2 likes.
I've
right
already
here.
liked it. You're late.
Oh, I'm tardy. Well, I just found out about it.
So
It's
I actually
crazy
told
that-
him on Tuesday he's just late.
I'm just
Old guy.
Old. I don't remember.
Old guy.
Yeah, we're all old. But at any rate, it's been fun. We've been at it now a little over 2 weeks,
Okay.
and it's just gone crazy viral. I looked the other day, and we had over 2,000 people have seen the page.
Sweet.
70 people have liked it. They're getting the updates, and
Absolutely.
hopefully we'll get every
Fantastic.
single one of them at the game and have them bring 5 people.
Right.
We're doing some neat things, though. We want to connect the players on the field with the fans. You walk
Right.
into those
Yeah,
games
yeah.
and you get a player roster, and it's
Right. I don't know
number
who
and height and weight and name,
Jimmy
and that's
Smith
it.
is or Steve.
We're doing
Larry
a one-page player bio that we'll randomly hand out to people as they walk in. It'll have, what his name is, what his hobbies are, what he wants to do after high school, what
Wow,
his family
sweet.
is, color photos. So that the idea is,
Bring
the
it to
fans,
life.
the fans get connected to the kids
Absolutely.
on the
That's
field,
great.
and maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, they come back for another game. We
Absolutely.
wanna create
And
that
maybe
fan
we'll
base.
partner with you too on that and just take your bios if you don't mind, and we'll put them up online.
Yeah, that would be
And
awesome.
feature it for them
Love
so
to
it'll
do that.
connect through all that.
Sure.
I think the more we can connect these kids to let them know that we all care. And I'm going to give everybody a little my mindset behind City Prep, and that's what looks as the energy with the same thing with Field of Stands is, the kids in high school are still kids. I know we're trying to push them to adulthood. I know it's, they're about to be 18, you're about
Right.
to be grown, but we still have to remember that's the last stages of them really being kids. And it's like the support system has to stay strong even through high school.
Mm-hmm.
And you see kids that are 6, 7, 8, you go to these games, and I was explaining this to Bill,
Yeah,
and I
last
said,
week, yeah.
you see these games where they're having a minimum of 2 people there at the game. They're packed stands, and these kids barely know how to swing a bat, run the football, dribble. It's just on. Then when the kids get to the point where they really hone in on their craft, high school, they may not go on the pro, college, whatever. There's nobody there watching anymore. And it's
Yeah.
like, how is it reversed like that? To where at this point, this kid is serious. Why is the support stop? And I understand games has changed from Saturdays and different things like that, but you have to really make that schedule change and understand these kids want to be seen. I mean, that's why you see so
to
many.
me, that the NFL is such a crazy good
Right.
marketing plan. They're screwing with it with the Thursday night games. You
Yes.
compartmentalize it into one day.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yep.
And I'm just going to use one-day games as an example. Sundays are for chilling with the family,
Watching some football. Absolutely.
And it's 6 months of the year. Think about it.
That's
it's a time of year where you can't really get outside. They've got a captive audience.
Well,
baseball,
it's the
not
dollar.
so much. Yeah, it's $1.
It's the dollar.
Yeah, it's $1, and we're paying for it in our advertising dollars. If they,
Absolutely.
We're Tide and Cheer and Coors and Budweiser and all those folks.
We
Pizza
could
Hut
tell.
and Yickety Yak, and I can keep going.
We could tell Jeff drinks beer.
Whatever. Anyway, Jesus. The point is football's figured it out.
Yeah.
Football has figured it out. Now, like I said, they're trying to expand the brand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly agree with that.
Right.
But that's just
because I haven't watched the Thursday night game yet.
not many. I've watched one if it's the Broncos. I don't really care if it's the Jaguars and the Dolphins on a Thursday. I could care less.
Right. And nobody will unless it's your team.
So what you're doing is trying to, I'm thinking, compartmentalize one game, one day, and do the PR work for the kids' benefit.
Right.
If you can, the tentacles of public relations in the high school goes to the teacher, goes to the counselor, goes to the administration. They've got to toot the horn and pump the volume up to make those things successful.
Yep.
Now, you get buy-in from them, you're set.
Yeah,
but that's the hardest part, I'm sure.
Those are all conversations that we're going to have in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
We want to find out what's going, with these kids. What prevents people from coming to these games? Is it transportation? Is it work? Is it they've got to watch their brother or sister or whatever it is? And
a
some
lot
of these schools, it's a big deal just to field the team. If you don't have to forfeit a team,
wow,
or
that's
forfeit a game,
a victory in and of itself.
It's a victory in and of itself.
Sad. Yeah.
So if we can get these kids excited about the sport and make it a priority in their life, and other things, or studies that have showed that the correlation between academic performance in the classroom and athletics is pretty strong.
Absolutely.
So long term, we want to be able to track those things, follow some of these kids, see what they do.
I got to tell you, that's one of the reasons why I graduated college. I mean, I wanted to be eligible to play.
Right.
Sure.
If I didn't get C's or above, which everybody knows I struggled with that.
Hey,
anybody that's ever listening to this. But no, the truth was if it was C's or better, you had to have a GPA of 2 point whatever to get to be eligible in college.
Absolutely.
So and by the time I had finished my eligibility with college, I'm like, well, I'm almost done. I might as well just finish.
Right.
You know what I mean? I might as well get my degree and then be like, okay, now let's get out in the world and
absolutely.
And get
but
after
you use sport to motivate you.
It's the
to be
dangling
ready
carrot.
for
We
life.
all have to figure out what it is.
We all have to have
and
it.
you're doing a great thing, Bill.
Yep.
You're doing
it's
a great
really
thing.
cool. I mean, these kids, I went to a tournament that they had last weekend and took some pictures. And gosh, they're not half as good as Marvin's, but I posted them up to our
Bill, we're professional.
You are
professional radio show.
I'm an amateur. Anyway, I post them up to the site, and these kids, it's like ants on a crumb.
Absolutely.
They just crave that attention.
This is another thing that I look at with kids, and you see out here with things that they want to be seen. It's attention.
Right.
So you see a lot of viral fights on their recording, doing all that. You even see it with girls now, right? So that's the thing. You see them, they want to be seen. But you don't see at the high school level a lot of media attention on these kids with their sport and all that. So it's kind of like you shift away from that. My whole shift goes away from that because don't nobody care. Nobody's paying attention to that. Right. You don't see my team going onto the news. You don't see us online, no one caring. So why do I? But I know I can, record this fight and put it online and everybody. And now I feel like something. And it's negativity that's moving. And it's up to us in that era, that generation that we are in now. It's our turn to really either try and change that, turn it around, and try and help with these kids to be seen in a positive light. And that's the thing that I love the most about the Field of Stands. It's like, with City Prep, you want to try and do everything, but you can't.
No.
And you have to focus on what our strengths are and what we're going to do, but you want to find great groups like your guys' itself. And that it makes, like, Field of Stands, that makes it easier. So now, as a team, we all go out and do.
We're all buying into
we're
something.
accomplishing.
Right.
We're accomplishing one goal is really to get kids back into playing sports more.
Sure.
Get community back involved, friends and family back involved to support and just give them moments that they deserve for that time, that day. And even like you said, you bring it up, Bill said, you're just building up for that one moment, that one game.
Compartmentalizing it,
when Jeff he broke it down. I didn't think Jeff was that intelligent, but he he just broke that down. I was
Clearly,
seeing-
I am not. It was actually I lucked into one.
He got more than C's in college.
No,
I'll tell you.
the deal is though is negativity and those kinds of things on YouTube or what have you. That's the lowest common denominator.
Right.
But everybody in this room included wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves. We all do.
Absolutely.
We all do because there's safety in numbers and it feels good when you achieve as
Absolutely.
a group. Yes, golf and you hit a hole in one yourself, that's terrific because everybody in the group